Someone left this table on the marketplace like it was a bag of rocks. Free, as in take it before they remember it's actually solid wood. I swear, if you're wondering how to find furniture to flip, just remember, unless it's a grand piano or you'd be in over your head, snatch it up. Now, the piece was definitely dated. I mean, look at those legs. But I saw the potential. I grabbed my carbide scraper and boom, old varnish and stain, peeling off like a bad sunburn. And guess what? Underneath, there was very nice wood. Real nice. There were some flaws and discoloration underneath, but nothing deal-breaking. I tag-teamed the edges with sanding blocks and my orbital sander. I have to get in every last nook and cranny. I needed to patch up some hairline cracks with 2-part Bondo. Then I realized the decorative split in the center, not a design choice, just a straight-up crack. Once that was all smooth, I flipped the beast over and hand sanded the legs. My plan was to stain the top and paint the base black for that sexy two-tone look. But then, plot twist, I realized the base was just screwed on, like with 8 screws. So I was like, wait, I could just swap out the legs. And that's exactly what I decided to do. And that's where it wrapped up for the day. I've got a perfect pair of legs in mine. No, not mine. And part 2 is where the real glow-up begins. Okay, it's time to attach the new legs. If you recall, the old one were the Victorian-style curved legs. Now, I picked up 4 of these legs at a Habitat Restore. I want to say I paid $10 for them, which is a pretty good deal. It's not fantastic, but certainly you could pay a lot more and they're in good shape. Then I went to the hardware store today and bought 4 mounting brackets. I was hoping to find the round kind that had a smaller profile, but this was the only type they have available. Now, if you ever go in and you buy table legs and brackets, they have a sort of like a Garanimals coating system. So this was hardware A, goes with a type of leg that has hardware A on it. So just make sure you're getting the right size hardware. So I took this one out and I measured it loosely and it's going to fit fine. And what I'm going to do is drill a couple of pilot holes for the regular screws. And before I attach it down, I'm going to drill a larger hole where the bolt goes in, and that's because when I screw it into here, if I don't do a hole beneath it, it'll only go, that far. So that is the next step here. I realized what I probably should have done is put a piece of tape on here to make sure I didn't go too deep. But I'm just going to make sure that that fits in there snug. Yes, it's going to be nice and snug. So now I'll do the small holes for the plate itself. I may be doing this in a slightly uncouth manner, but I really want to make sure that my leg is going to reach all the way down before I screw the plate on, because if it's too shallow of a hole, then I have to unscrew the plate before I can drill the hole any deeper. So I put the leg into the plate down to its very end, and now I'm just turning it in. And we're getting close. Okay, this plate is slightly uneven, but it's attached on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put those screws in now. I didn't put a hole in the very corner because this is where it comes to there's a split there where they meet, and I didn't want to run the risk of breaking that and chipping it. I was feeling so good about this leg project, and then I ran into 2 major snafus. One is it dawned on me that the base that I removed from here might be a little taller. And sure enough, the difference between the previous legs and these is about 3.5 inches. So that puts this coffee table height at about 13 inches, and normally they're supposed to be 16 to 18 inches. So I could put on some fancy base, but I just feel like I'm creating more work for myself. I'm going to see how it looks with the shorter legs and go from there. The other problem I encountered is when I was drilling these in, I felt them pop through the underside of this piece right here, but for some reason I was thinking, oh, that side's not going to show anyway. Well, I wasn't thinking clearly, so all of these screws are popping through, and when this table is right side up, you would see all these little screw heads coming through. So I went into my miscellaneous screw jar and tried to find some shorter ones, and I found a couple, but I'm going to have to run to the hardware store and just get a much shorter version of this. Again, if I put a brace under there, it would serve the purpose of raising the table higher and eliminating this problem, but I'm not feeling that right now, so we'll see. Okay, I have swapped out the original screws that came with these plates with shorter ones that wouldn't pierce through the underside. I have them all mostly loosely on. Now I'm getting to the fun part and attaching the legs. After a run to the hardware store, I'm hoping I don't have any more surprises. So far, so good. In the meantime, I also put Bondo on the other underside of the table where there were some cracks. I thought it could only help reinforce the work that I had done on the top of the table. We are going to call this attempt of me swapping out legs on this coffee table a modest fail. If you saw the last video, you saw the struggles I had adding these legs. I took off the old Victorian style. However, even though I haven't stained or painted it yet, I brought it into the living room, and not only is it shorter than the typical coffee table, but you can see the brackets from the side. Now, granted, your vantage point probably isn't going to be down like this. It'll be up like this. But I know if I were looking at this, it would bother me. Not only that, you can see the metal plate, it takes up about 1/4 of an inch. And you can see the edge just a little bit on the side of the wood itself. Plus then over on this one, where I hadn't put a screw in the corner because I didn't want to worry about that split there, it's even more apparent. So I'm going to take these off, go back and put the old ones on, and paint the whole thing black. I'm Meg, and I make mistakes so you don't have to. All right, folks, the free coffee table saga ends right here. And spoiler alert, I may have gone full circle on this one. Remember how I was so sure I'd swap out the legs for something sleek and modern? Yeah, well, one trip to the hardware store and a whole lot of effort and a side of regret later, I had to ditch that plan. I went back to the original base like it was meant to be there all along. The first order of business was patching the screw holes left behind from the first set of legs. Once that dried, I sanded it all down smooth and gave the base 3 coats of black paint on both the detached base and the part still attached to the table. That combination of black and dark stained wood is sexy and it sells well. Next, I hit the tabletop with 1 coat of hickory gel stain. I love this new color I'm trying. It's rich, warm, and exactly what I had envisioned. But as expected, the Bondo and the cracks from the earlier repairs didn't take the stain at all. It never does. I knew I'd have to get creative with color correcting, so I tried a small twist on my usual method. Instead of trying to blend with just one color, I usually use a mix of 2 or 3 different tones. Sometimes I layer them, like when I'm trying to add a fake grain line, and other times I'll blend them together and I'll use a stippling effect. It takes a steady hand and a little bit of patience, but usually it works. Next, I sealed the painted areas with a coat of shellac, and here's where I changed things up again. I gave the shellac a super light sanding before going in with the polyurethane. That knocked down some of the shine and helped smooth out the texture so everything felt more consistent. I followed up with 3 coats of wipe-on poly, sanding lightly between each one. And yeah, by that 3rd coat, she was really looking good. My last step was to attach the original base, now in its new black color. And here's the final result. Black base, warm stained top, and just enough personality to make you forget she was free. Sure, the base is a little dated, but I think the contrast actually works. So what do you think? Was I right to return to the original base, or should I have fought harder for those new legs? Drop your thoughts below and stick around if you like furniture flips with a side of real talk. My name is Meg, and I show you practical tips for refinishing and flipping furniture. Be sure to hit the follow button for more.